here we go. Let's start off with the NIV version this time. Chapter 5, Genesis. Okay, play.
Genesis 5. This is the written account of Adam's family line. When God created mankind, he made them in the likeness of God. He created them male and female and blessed them, and he named them mankind when they were created.
He named them
When Adam
mankind.
had lived 130 years, he had a son in his own likeness, in his own image, and he named him Seth. After Seth was born, Adam lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters.
800 years
Altogether,
after 130.
Adam lived a total of 930 years, and then he died. When Seth had lived 105 years, he became the father of Enosh. After he became the father of Enosh, Seth lived 807 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Seth lived a total of 912 years, and then he died. When Enosh had lived 90 years, he became the father of Kenan. After he became the father of Kenan, Enosh lived 815 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enosh lived a total of 905 years, and then he died. When Kenan had lived 70 years, he became the father of Mahalalel. After he became the father of Mahalalel, Kenan lived 840 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Kenan lived a total of 910 years, and then he died. When Mahalalel had lived 65 years, he became the father of Jared. After he became the father of Jared, Mahalalel lived 830 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Mahalalel lived a total of 895 years, and then he died. When Jared had lived 162 years, he became the father of Enoch. After he became the father of Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Jared lived a total of 962 years, and then he died. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. After he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked faithfully with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enoch lived a total of 365 years. Enoch walked faithfully with God. Then he was no more, because God took him away. When Methuselah had lived 187 years, he became the father of Lamech. After he became the father of Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Methuselah lived a total of 969 years, and then he died. When Lamech had lived 182 years, he had a son. He named him Noah, and said, "He will comfort us in the labor and painful toil of our hands caused by the ground the Lord has cursed." After Noah was born, Lamech lived 595 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Lamech lived a total of 777 years, and then he died. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Whoa, they lived a long time back then, folks. Yeah, now you get where you got to remember, he said, well, I had this first son. Now, he may have had daughters before, but they always, in the Bible, came out the first son, and then he had other sons and daughters. But he could have had daughters before. Now, in the first part, God said, be fruitful and multiply, right? So, you got to figure there were a lot more women than there were men. And God would naturally want that to happen. Let's say, just a rough estimate, let's say there were 7 daughters to every one man. And each of them had children by the time they were 16 years old. They started having children. My brain couldn't even calculate that. And I'm not even going to get a calculator. You'd have to have a computer to figure out, when people are living to be 900 years old, and for 400 years they're having children, and it's like, their children are having children. These guys get to be great 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 grandparents. These people were still alive. It would be like George Washington still being alive today. He would be a young man. George Washington would still be having children. If that could put it into any perspective of how long the lifespan was when we first started out. There was no germs, no diseases. It was, that was the normal thing. And we had to mess it up. We will live forever in spirit. This is talking about the flesh was lasting that long. The flesh lived 900 plus years. Whoa. So anyhow, let's go on to the King James Version here. Let me pop it up here. King James. Okay, let's listen to King James chapter 5. Genesis.
Genesis chapter 5. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years, and begat Enos. And Seth lived after he begat Enos 807 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enos lived 90 years, and begat Cainan. And Enos lived after he begat Cainan 815 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Cainan lived 70 years, and begat Mahalaleel. And Cainan lived after he begat Mahalaleel 840 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Cainan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalaleel lived 65 years, and begat Jared. And Mahalaleel lived after he begat Jared 830 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Mahalaleel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 182 years, and begat a son, and he called his name Noah, saying,
This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed.
And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Yeah, it pretty much says the same thing. The NIV uses a few different phrases, and where it's written, the numbers are written out instead of in the King James Version, they're spelled out. So now we will move over to the restored name. This is really different right here because it's got a lot of Hebrew names in it.
Bereshit, chapter 5. This is the book of the genealogy of Adam. In the day that Elohim created man, he made him in the likeness of Elohim. Male and female he created them, and he blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and brought forth a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Sheth. And after he brought forth Sheth, the days of Adam were 800 years, and he brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Sheth lived 105 years, and brought forth Enosh. And after he brought forth Enosh, Sheth lived 807 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Sheth were 912 years, and he died. And Enosh lived 90 years, and brought forth Canaan. And after he brought forth Canaan, Enosh lived 815 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 70 years, and brought forth Mahalalel. After he brought forth Mahalalel, Canaan lived 840 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years, and brought forth Yered. And after he brought forth Yered, Mahalalel lived 830 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Yered lived 162 years, and brought forth Hanoch. After he brought forth Hanoch, Yered lived 800 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Yered were 962 years, and he died. And Hanoch lived 65 years, and brought forth Methuselah. And after he brought forth Methuselah, Hanoch walked with Elohim 300 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Hanoch were 365 years, and Hanoch walked with Elohim. Then he was no more, for Elohim took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and brought forth Lemech. And after he brought forth Lemech, Methuselah lived 782 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. And Lemech lived 182 years, and brought forth a son, and called his name Nuach, saying, This one does comfort us concerning our work, and the toil of our hands, because of the ground which Yahweh has cursed. And after he brought forth Nuach, Lemech lived 595 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Lemech were 777 years, and he died. And Nuach was 500 years old, and Nuach brought forth Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Bereshit.
Noach is Noah. I would not make a good Hebrew. Noach. But that's the purple book there. Set it off to the side. As you can see, chapter 5 of Genesis has a lot of being fruitful and multiplying. And multiplying and multiplying. That's how the earth got all cram-packed full of people. And, I get another surprise for you in chapter 6. Now, chapter 6 has stuff in it that the churches around here hardly mention a word about. This chapter 6 will have some stuff in it that, a matter of fact, I don't believe I've ever heard preached in modern churches. So come back for chapter 6.